Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, please join me to welcome Mr. Yohana as he comes to give us the safety tips for this facility for the duration of this event. Mr. Yohana, please can we give him a round of applause, please?
Good morning, participants. My name is Yohana Damu. I'm from the Safety and Security Department of the Abuja Continental Hotel. I'm here to give you a safety tips concerning your event. If you want to locate the restroom from here, you need to go out. When you go out, you turn to your right, you see a security man standing. He will direct you to the hotel. Today is not scheduled for any fire drill, but for in case if there's any constant alarm inside the hall, please don't panic. We have a ERT member that will come and address you on what to do. But for in case if there's alarm, emergency inside the hall, please don't panic. And we have exit doors linking to our muster point if there's any emergency inside the hall. These 4 emergency exit doors linking to our muster point at the swimming pool area. And another one by the entrance of the Ladi Kwali Hall. Take your left, there's a field there, an open place. You see a big signboard. That's where you find yourself. And in security issue, please, your mobile phone, your items is very important to you and to us. We don't want a situation whereby after the event, someone will come to us, didn't see my phone, I didn't see my laptop. Please and please, if you are out from your seat, remember to take your items to where you are going. Or if you know someone that you are still close to him, that you can leave your items, is very important to leave it. But if you don't know the person, please go along with your items. On behalf of the management, we are wishing you all the best of your program. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Yohana. Well, that point is very valid. Those of us have our personal effects, mobile phones, laptops, handbags. Please always keep them where your eyes can see them. If you have to use the gents and the ladies, please drop your personal effects with somebody you know or trust, or you can always go out with them. The gents and the ladies, as soon as you exit where we're seated right now, the extreme right of where we're seated at the foyer, you have the gents and the ladies in case you have need for the gents and the ladies. Your Excellencies, announcing the arrival of the Honorable Minister of Power of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Please can we all rise as we welcome Chief Adebayo Adelabu. Please a round of applause for him, Your Excellencies, as he makes his way into this lovely atmosphere. Please can we all rise for the Nigerian national anthem. As soon as you come into the hall, please, wherever you are, we want to take the Nigerian national anthem. After the count of 3, 1, 2, go. Thank you. Be seated. Please a round of applause for our lovely self and for our great country, Nigeria. Some of you are not clapping. You are not proud to be Nigerians. Please a round of applause for our great country. Thank you. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. We want to welcome all of us to the official launch of Nigeria Residential Sector Energy Demand Side Survey, an event co-organized by the Federal Ministry of Power, National Bureau of Statistics, Energy Commission of Nigeria, with the contributions of development partners, the European Union, International Energy Agency. In the entourage of our Honorable Minister of Power, please join me to welcome and recognize specially the Statistician General of the Federation National Bureau of Statistics, Prince Adeyemi Adeniro. Please a round of applause for him. You're welcome, sir. Also in that entourage, we have the Director, Renewable Energy and Rural Power Access, Federal Ministry of Power, here with us, Engineer Adi Abubakar. Please a round of applause for him. You're welcome, sir. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we have here today from the Energy Commission of Nigeria, Dr. Mustafa Abdullahi, Director General, here with us. You're welcome, sir. He deserves a round of applause. He's also a member of the Beard Gang. I see your beard, sir. You're welcome. Your Excellencies, also we have joining us online is the Deputy Executive Director, International Energy Agency, Mrs. Mary Wallach. She'll be joining us online at the course of this event. Please, she deserves a round of applause. You're welcome. We have the Deputy Ambassador, European Union Delegation to Nigeria and ECOWAS, Mr. Zismus Vegas. You're welcome, sir. We have the Statistics Manager here with us, International Energy Agency, Mrs. Zakia Adam. Please, a round of applause for her. About the only lady we have on the high table. Please, let's give her a round of applause. You're welcome, ma'am. And also, very importantly, we have major stakeholders from different parastatals represented here. We have the Director, Rural Power Access, Federal Ministry of Power, here with us, Engineer Adi Abubakar. You're welcome, sir. You're welcome. Recognize you're ready. We have the Director, National Accounts, Energy and Environmental Statistics, Department of the National Bureau of Statistics, Mr. David Babalola. Please a round of applause for him. You're welcome, sir. Also, Your Excellencies, we want to specially recognize the Managing Director, Rural Electrification Agency, here with us, Engineer Ahmed Salihu. You're welcome, sir. The Director, Energy Information System, Energy Commission of Nigeria, Engineer Mundu Adams, is also here with us. You're welcome, sir. We have the Director, ICT, National Bureau for Statistics, Mr. Adi Mustafa, is also in this building. You're welcome, sir. We have the Program Manager, Energy and Circular Economy and Energy European Union Delegation to Nigeria, Mr. Godfrey Ogbomudia. Please, a round of applause for all these distinguished and eminent personalities. And please, in case we've not called your name, doesn't mean you're not important. You're all welcome to this lovely event. Please feel free to shake the person sitting next to you. We are not in COVID-19 era. So just shake the person sitting next to you. Give the person a smile. In case your neighbor is not smiling, he's not part of our lunch. But if your neighbor is smiling, you can be sure that you are in the right place. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, again, you're welcome. My name is Frank Oyakilome Richard, and I'll be your compare for this event. Please, I deserve a round of applause if you're not angry with me. Thank you. Your Excellencies, straight away to welcome all of us on behalf of our hosts. It's my singular honor to invite a man that is a certified engineer. He's the Nigerian Society of Engineers. He's an accomplished public servant with over 25 years cognitive experience in the public service. Please join me to welcome the Director, Renewable Energy and Rural Power Access, Federal Ministry of Power, Engineer Adi Abubakar. Please a round of applause for him, ladies and gentlemen. Sir, you come to the podium. Let's give him a round of applause as he makes his way to the podium. You're welcome, sir.
Your Excellencies, Honorable Minister, Deputy Ambassadors, Director Generals of the various agencies, and all protocol observed. Please, I am welcoming us to this very important occasion, launching of the Nigerian Residential Energy Sector and Demand Side Survey. This is a very important, meeting to actually determine to know the surveys on residential and also the demand side in the Nigerian space, in order for us to achieve our vision in energy transition and also to accomplish the Vision 3030 of the federal government of Nigeria. Therefore, I am welcoming all participants and also the resource persons that we are going to have sessions after the lunch break. Thank you, Honorable Minister, for honoring this very important event. You are welcome, sirs. Thank you.
Thank you. We needed to do that very short and sharp welcome because the Honorable Minister has another engagement, and because of his love for what we're doing here today, he had to make his way here to come and spend the very few minutes he has. Your Excellency, the Honorable Minister of Power, Chief Adebayo Adelabu, he was a former Deputy Governor of Operations of the Central Bank of Nigeria, a proud graduate of Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, a fellow Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, ICANN, a fellow Chartered Institute of Bankers in Nigeria, an associate member of Institute of Directors in Nigeria and the United Kingdom. He led the finance team on the Central Bank of Nigeria Re-engineering and Corporate Renewal Project tagged Project Eagles in 1999. He's the chairman, board of directors of the Nigerian Interbank Settlement System. He's an astute politician and a grassroots mobilizer, a recipient of many awards, and a member of numerous boards of different pastors and agencies. Please, Your Excellencies, with a rousing round of applause, join me to welcome the Honorable Minister of Power, Chief Adebayo Adelabu, as he comes up to give his keynote address on this auspicious occasion. Please, if you're sitting down, you are out of order. Please, he deserves a round of applause. The Honorable Minister, sir.
Let's have our seats. Let us have our seats. I say good morning, everyone. I want to recognize the organizers of this event to start with. Then the directors and other senior officials from the Federal Ministry of Power and its agencies. I can see the MD of Rural Electrification Agency, Ahmad Salijo Ahmed, Director, RRD, and the Director of Distribution Department. I recognize you all. The senior officials of European Union here present, the DG National Bureau of Statistics, MBS, and other senior officials of MBS present here. The DG of the Energy Commission of Nigeria, and other senior officials of ECN, and the International Energy Agency, IEA. Other senior officials of government here present, our development partners, our private sector investors, gentlemen of the press, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Let me start by saying that it's a great privilege being here this morning to address this August gathering. And it's with great pleasure that I welcome you all to this high-level event to launch the 2024 Nigeria Residential Demand-Side Survey. Nigeria as a country has made significant progress in providing electricity access to its rapidly growing population in the last 20 years. The country's energy sector has been significant in reform over the last decade towards strengthening the role of private investment in conventional and renewable energy. Although the nascent market is yet to achieve its full potential, and you all agree with me, there's still a long way to go for us. Today's event on its own, its significance as primary and accurate data forms part of the President's renewed hope agenda, which is committed to economic growth and job creation on the backbone of adequate, reliable, and quality power supply to businesses, to households, and to industries across the country. While we continue as a country to accelerate our efforts under the banner of achieving Sustainable Development Goal 7, SDG 7, by 2030, progress has remained hindered by limited data availability, among other barriers. With no data, as we all know, there will be no indicators, and with no indicators, there is an obvious difficulty, if not an impossibility, in making a robust assessment of a particular situation. Thus, this shortfall of information leads to difficulties, firstly, in planning, secondly, in optimizing measures and policies, and lastly, for close monitoring or tracking of progress and of failures. So data is so important to everything we do as a country and as an organization. The federal government of Nigeria, through a combination of options, is providing electricity access to its populace in a sustainable manner for socio-economic development. The strategy of this government is to provide electricity access through implementation of grid extension projects in locations that have high proximity to the national grid. And alternatively, deployment of renewable energy, especially solar-powered mini-grids, where it is economically viable to do so, particularly in remote and rural areas with difficult geographical terrain. More so, where it is almost physically difficult and economically unviable to have the national grid extended to the location. Electricity and energy projects are capital intensive, and therefore, the task of implementing such projects cannot be borne by federal government alone. It requires the partnership, the cooperation, collaboration of all stakeholders along the power sector value chain, not just to leave it alone for the federal government to bear. This government has progressively been developing policies and regulations to provide clear roadmap and incentives to attract private sector participation in financing, developing, operating, and maintenance of electrification projects. The Electricity Act of 2023, which was signed by Mr. President precisely on the 8th of June 2023, was to encourage the states and local governments and the private sector to actively participate in the power sector. We witnessed a complete unbundling of the power sector value chain to accommodate all players, all stakeholders, from federal government to subnational government, which is state and local government, to private sector investors, unlike what we had in the past when it was just on the exclusive list of the federal government alone. Some of the programs of this administration designed to increase electricity access, especially through renewable power, in accordance with Nigeria's commitment to reducing our carbon footprint by 20% unconditionally and by 47% conditionally, as contained in the update 7 teaching hospitals, using mostly captive renewable energy, power plants, and a few fossil fuel options to ensure that our citadel of learning, our institutions, are well powered to carry out their mandates. Nigeria's Sustainable Energy for All Central Data Management System, CDMS, a decision-making electrification planning tool aimed at ensuring transparency, accountability, market intelligence, and coordination in the power sector. Number 4, solar PV alternative power supply to public buildings. This program that provides alternative renewable power supply to federal government buildings to reduce service downtime and Nigeria's carbon footprint. A number of federal government ministries have actually been on this program, and we are making good progress. The one we started with actually served as proof of concept. Once we are satisfied with their implementation or execution, of course, we'll move to the next level. Lastly, the decentralized, decarbonized, and digitalized 24/7 feeder program, which is intended to provide uninterrupted power supply to dedicated feeders through a hybrid of grid and renewable power. I want to assure this gathering and Nigerians as a whole, the European Union and the International Energy Agency, that this administration will continue to implement a wide range of infrastructural programs that will have positive impacts on the lives and livelihoods of the citizenry. It is no gainsaying, emphasizing the fact that adequate, reliable, functional, and affordable power is key to achieving significant economic growth and industrial development. Nigeria is a country with full potentials of human resources, of natural resources. But both these human resources and natural resources, they will remain resources forever if they are not energized. So the only missing gap that we have as a country today is to ensure that we are able to energize the abundance of these resources that abound in our country. But the good news I would like to make mention here, and it has to be on record, that the days of diagnosis is over. The days of investigating what our problem is over. The days of exploring what led to our problem is also over. We know what is wrong with our power sector. We know the issues with our power sector. The stage we are now is to religiously implement documented strategies to resolve this national problem. We know we have issues with generation, which is inadequate. Over 200 million people. We have installed grid-connected power generation capacity of just a little over 13,000. And the operational capacity is still less than 5,000 for over 200 million people. I'll give you just two examples. South Korea, with a population of 49 million people, they're generating over 130,000 megawatts of power. Not only generating, they are transmitting it effectively and distributing it to the doorsteps of households, of businesses, and of industries. Which is why you see that all their two small companies, they have become industrial giants. The likes of Daewoo, the likes of Hyundai, the likes of LG. There's no secret behind it, Dan. They made a deliberate decision to provide adequate power to industrialize their country, which is why the level of unemployment is so low in this country. And the volume of exports of their products to the outside world is quite impressive. A second example is Republic of China. With a population of about 1.4 billion people, which is 7 times the population of Nigeria. Electricity is not their problem. Even when you talk about size, the landmass, the geographical size of China is more than 20 times the size of Nigeria. Today, they generate over 1.3 million megawatts of power. That is why they are highly industrialized. So when we talk about generation, we are still scratching the surface in this country. We need to do more. And we must have a deliberate plan to ensure that we explore our natural endowments to achieve the base load in our power generation. When I say base load, I'm talking of hydropower generation. We have dams all over. And it's good news that our new addition to our hydropower plant, Zongeru Hydroelectric Power, just commenced operation this week. They are going to add 700 megawatts to what we have now. That should give us some leeway in generation. But that's not where we are going. That will not take us to the El Dorado. It won't take us to where we desire if we truly want to become an industrialized nation and be self-reliant, self-dependent when it comes to production of goods and services. And of course, it will lead to high employment rates. That is hydro. In terms of thermal plants, gas-powered generation, we are blessed with gas. Why are we having issues establishing thermal plants all over the country? Even transportation of this gas from where they are located to where they are required should not be a problem. What is the size of Nigeria that we cannot successfully construct gas pipelines to bring the gas to where they are naturally deposited, to where they are needed? So we need to boost our generation. And the second issue is about infrastructure, which is the transmission and distribution infrastructure. Power needs to be transported from location of production to where power is demanded, which is why we have the highway transmission network, the transmission lines. And they must also be distributed within our state, within our cities. Those infrastructures, what is their state? They are outdated, they are weak, and we have not really maintained or replaced them over the years. What is the state of our substations, the injection substations? What is the state of our even internal transformers within the distribution network? A lot of the transformers that we use today, they are older than myself. There's a particular transformer that we saw that still carry the logo of ECN on it. That is the Electricity Company of Nigeria. Installed in the 60s, and we still expect this to serve us today. No. That is in terms of infrastructure upgrade. Then in terms of liquidity, which is the major issue that we have with the power sector. Do we respect contracts? Do we have contract discipline? Are we properly metered? Today, with over 12 million electricity customers, just a little over 5 million have meters. We have a meter gap of close to 8 million. How do you collect the bills? If you do not measure, you cannot bill. If you don't bill, you cannot collect. And once there is no reverse flow of liquidity into the power sector, just as electricity is flowing into the consumers, this industry will not go anywhere. So we have issues of liquidity. So we know the issues. Now it is time for us to move forward and implement our documented strategies of tackling these issues. But there are three major obstacles in this implementation, which requires the contributions of all. Number one is financing. Power projects require a lot of finance. No single government can single-handedly handle the required financial inputs into the sector if it must achieve our desired goal. The federal government has to be involved. There must be private sector investments, both locally and offshore. Our development partners are doing a lot, but they still have to do more. The state governments must have their hands on deck. The local government must have appropriation for power sector. That is the only way I believe we can move forward. And we must make our power sector bankable. It must be attractive to lenders, both local and international lenders. If they don't see their money coming back, they will never put a dime into this sector. So how do we de-risk that sector to make it bankable? Those are the liquidity issues that we have, and financing is very key. Then the other issue has to do with collaboration, inclusiveness and collaboration. Like I said, just like everybody must contribute to financing, we must all contribute to infrastructure development. Thankful to Mr. President for signing the new Power and Electricity Act of 2023 that has now allowed all levels of government to participate in fixing this sector. The federal government, the state government, and the local governments. The private sectors too, they have the chance to participate. Why do we have federal roads? Why do we have state roads? Why do we have local government roads? The federal roads are highway. They are highways to transport bulk commodities from the location of production. For example, the northern part of Nigeria, where you have all sorts of food items, down to where they are demanded. But those that are involved in transportation of bulk, should they also single-handedly handle home delivery when it gets to areas of demand? The internal roads are state government roads. They are local government roads. The highways are like our transmission lines. Those high voltage transmission lines, 330 kV, 132 kV lines, which is the responsibility of the TCN. That's the Transmission Company of Nigeria. But when power is deposited at the substations within the locations where power is demanded, it becomes the burden of the distribution companies. Those distribution wire lines, the 33 kV, the 11 kV, the 450 volts, they are the responsibilities of the DISCOs, the distribution companies. But these DISCOs will never perform optimally when there is no tracking agency. A government that must ensure they upgrade these facilities. That government is the state government. The Minister of Power cannot sit down in Abuja and determine an 11 kVA line in Zungeru or somewhere in Adamawa or Bayelsa and fix it. It is practically impossible. But there is a state government there that know where they have weak infrastructures in terms of step-down transformers, 33 kV, step-down transformers, 11 kV, where it is weak, where it is spoiled, and how they must fix it. Which is why the state government, the local government must, that I believe we must have for us to achieve our desired goal for this sector. So the federal government, the state government, and the local government, and they are statutorily and constitutionally it's to play in this sector now. So they must rise up to the occasion. The Federal Ministry of Power will continue to bring out policies that will support this sector. And will also serve as watchdogs to ensure that all the agencies involved in power, transmission, and distribution perform their duties optimally. So financing, collaboration, and cooperation. Then lastly is timing. We need time. Nigerians must also be patient. Power issues are not issues you can fix overnight. I cannot stand here, even as a magician, to promise Nigerians 24/7 uninterrupted power in 6 months or in 1 year. But what we stand here to achieve is a gradual, consistent, accelerated improvement in this sector. Once there is improvement day to day, once our today is better than our yesterday in the sector, once our tomorrow is better than today, and we are consistent with it, in few years, we will see or witness significant improvements in power sector. So I'm using this opportunity to tell the gathering here, and by extension, all Nigerians, that we have the solution to power sector issues in Nigeria. But we're inviting everybody to join us in cooperating, in collaborating, in partnering to ensure that these strategies are religiously delivered. And I'm assuring you that very soon we'll witness improvement in this industry. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank the European Union delegation to Nigeria and the International Energy Agency for the support in gathering this primary data on residential demand side survey. And I look forward to a successful implementation of the survey strategies with our partners, i.e. the National Bureau of Statistics, NBS, and the Energy Commission of Nigeria, ECN. And I want to officially launch the 2024 Nigeria Residential Demand Side Survey Program. Thank you for your attention, and God bless you all. Thank you very much.
Please, the minister deserves a resounding round of applause. Please join in the minister for photograph here. We have Statistician General of the Federation, His Excellency Mr. Zismos Vegas. Please you join the minister. Mrs. Zakia Adam, you join please. Engineer Adi Abubakar, please can you join? And the last but not the least, the Managing Director of Rural Electrification Agency. Please can we give the minister a round of applause? Such eloquent, detailed, a man that knows and understands. DG Energy Commission, so sorry sir, the DG Energy Commission. Please, our pressmen, our journalists, please, we need to capture this. As soon as they are done, we have other members of the table. Join them, please. Other members in front here. Join them. Media Insights. Are we good? So let me have you take yours now. Thank you very much, Your Excellencies, as you make your way back to your seat. Please let's give him a round of applause. Thank you very much, the Honorable Minister. Thank you, sir. Okay, oh, great. Just a good news. The Minister said he's going to be seated down for a little while with us before he takes his leave to attend to other state matters. And Honorable Minister, we want to congratulate you on the Zungeri Power Project. It's in your turn, it's in your time that is coming alive. Please, I will give the minister a round of applause. Congratulations, sir. And we also, by extension, want to congratulate the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria for this milestone in line with his renewed hope agenda for the country. Thank you, sir. Please, in case you need water to drink at the course of this event, we have ushers that will be attending to you in case you want to take something to drink. Distinguished guests, after listening to the minister, you will agree with me that we have a minister that understands what the issues are, and not only understanding it, he has the wherewithal to make it happen. It's our prayer that in your time, our energy sector will get better, and our children will stop shouting, "Hey, up NEPA." Thank you very much. Next, we want to bring up for his remarks a man whose office is saddled with developing and promoting standards and appropriate methodologies in the national statistical system. He is a professional statistician of repute with a bias for demography and social statistics. He has over 3 decades of statistical hand-on experience garnered from various local and international institutions. Your Excellencies, he is the Statistician General of the National Bureau of Statistics, Prince Adeyemi Adeniran. Please give him a round of applause as he comes to give his remarks at this lunch. Do I have MBS people here? The way you are clapping, are you joking with your salary? Please give him a round of applause as he comes up. You're welcome, sir.
the Honorable Minister of Power, my brother, Chief Adebayo Adelabu. I'm so impressed with the way you articulated all the issues around power in the country. And I'm very sure that problem well identified is 50% solved. So in no time, I believe that we are going to be getting solution to the power problem in the country. Thank you so much for your speech. The DG Energy Commission of Nigeria, the MD Rural Electrification Agency, Deputy Ambassador of European Union Delegation, and other dignitaries from the European Union Delegation here present, the Deputy Executive Director, International Energy Agency, that is accompanied by the Statistics Manager of the same agency, directors from the National Bureau of Statistics and the Federal Ministry of Power, other guests and partners here present, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It is a great delight to be present here today on the occasion of the launch of this groundbreaking survey on residential energy use in Nigeria. This survey is not just a mere statistical activity for us in MBS. It is a crucial step towards understanding and addressing the energy needs of our nation in alignment with the Sustainable Development Goals and the broader aspiration of our nation, particularly to address the data needed for the 8-point agenda of the current administration. Let me therefore commence my remarks by appreciating and thanking all our partners and collaborators on this particular survey, especially the Federal Ministry of Power, the Energy Commission of Nigeria, the European Union, and the International Energy Agency for this particular initiative. I want to say that the hard work and your commitment to this project and for getting us thus far to this point by the kind of seriousness that I've witnessed in the past few weeks, I have no doubt whatsoever in my mind that the aims and objectives of this exercise will be achieved at the end of the day. The importance of energy to the economic prospect of our nation cannot be overstated. Energy is the lifeblood of economic development, powering our industries, lighting and illuminating our homes, fueling our transportation system, and driving innovation in the country. As we strive to achieve the SDGs and prepare Nigeria towards a sustainable and inclusive future, it is imperative that we have accurate and comprehensive data on energy consumption and demand. And this survey that we are about to conduct is a significant milestone in that journey that we embark upon. The result of the 2022 Multidimensional Poverty Index survey, which was conducted and published by the National Bureau of Statistics, revealed that energy was one of the main drivers or contributors to the multidimensional poverty in Nigeria. It was the third contributor after food security and time to reach healthcare facility. With household consumption representing over 70% of the nation's gross domestic product, when computed using the expenditure approach, it is imperative, therefore, that we have adequate and reliable data on household energy demand as well as consumption in Nigeria. And this is what this survey seeks to achieve. It will paint a vibrant picture of disparities in access, affordability, and efficiency in providing infallible insights for crafting targeted solutions that leave no one behind. Some of these are what the Honorable Minister has articulated for us. The United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, SDG 7, calls for universal access to affordable, reliable, sustainable, and modern energy by the year 2030. Access to energy is not just a basic human need, it is a catalyst to our development and progress. It unlocks opportunity for education, healthcare, and economic empowerment. By conducting this household survey on energy consumption and demand, we are taking a giant stride towards fulfilling Nigeria's commitment to ensuring access to clean and affordable energy for all Nigerians. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Honorable Minister, data is the bedrock upon which sound policies and informed decisions are built. As the coordinator of the National Statistical System in Nigeria, the NBS cannot emphasize enough the importance of data that will emanate from this particular survey, which is going to shape the future of our nation. Accurate and up-to-date information on energy consumption and demand will provide policymakers, researchers, stakeholders with the insights needed to design an effective strategy for sustainable energy development in Nigeria. It is through these such data-driven approaches that we can optimize resources, attract investment, as the Honorable Minister said, and foster innovation in the energy sector, which is going to meet our desired aspirations. Permit me to state here, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, that the power of this data goes beyond mere numbers. It's not just to produce numbers at the end of the day. The numbers and figures that we are going to be seeing from this survey represent the voices of millions of Nigerians, their aspirations for a brighter future, which is powered by sustainable energy, and their struggles with the daily realities of energy scarcity and cost. By amplifying these voices of Nigerian citizens, we can galvanize action, foster inclusivity in policy making, and ensure that no community is left behind in the march towards a sustainable energy future. Accordingly, I want to state the absolute commitment of the National Bureau of Statistics and the entire Nigerian statistical system to the successful implementation of this important survey. On our part, as the main driver or implementer of this survey, we will ensure that the quality of the data are of high quality, and also ensure that the methodology that we are going to adopt is going to be the one that will give us the reality that will represent what the energy situation it is in Nigeria. To ensure that the results are accurate, acceptable, and relevant to all the stakeholders and users of the data. By doing so, we will be fulfilling our mandate of providing policy-relevant statistics for the use and application of our wider array different users of our data. Honorable Minister, let me conclude by once again thank all our stakeholders, our partners, for this opportunity to work together on this very important national assignment. It is my hope that we will gather like this in the very near future to launch and ruminate over the interesting data insight that will come out from this survey that we are kickstarting today. I want to also make this opportunity to appeal to households, local communities across the country who will be selected to be interviewed for this exercise to kindly accord our field workers by providing them with the accurate information that we need from them. By so doing, you will also be playing your important role in informing government accurately. As usual, the information which is stated and in line with the law and regulation governing statistics production in Nigeria. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Honorable Minister, I want to thank everybody present here today for your kind attention and your contribution that will be coming at the end of the day. I wish all of us a very successful outcome of this survey. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and God bless you all. Thank you for your attention.
He deserves more than that. As a round of applause, Your Excellencies. Thank you very much. The Statistician General of the Federation. You agree with me that the man knows his work very well. Well, before I bring up the next speaker, we want to recognize especially the Honorable Minister, the Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer of NEMSA, Engineer Adliyu Tukur Tahi. Please a round of applause for him. You're welcome, sir. Joining us, celebrating. Well, just on a light note, in 1999, Nigerians returned to democracy. We had His Excellency President Olusegun Obasanjo. And one of the tasks he had was to sell Nigeria to the international community, having coming out from military dictatorship and rule. And one of those visits was the former president of Nigeria that came during that period. And on his way from the airport to the city center, something happened in Nigeria that is very common. NEPA decided to take the lights, the way we say it in Nigeria, NEPA then. So the president was very angry and was very furious. And President Bush, His Excellency, looked at the president and said, this is very unusual. So President Obasanjo, wanting to do a return match, when he flew to see the president of the US, Washington, D.C., he found out that there was a particular part of the capital that did not have lights. So in excitement, he looked at President Bush and said, when you came to Nigeria, there was power outage. And you see it's very unusual. There's a place I've seen in your capital that does not have light. So the president, being curious, wanted to find out where the place is. So the president took him to the hotel he was and showed him the place. And President Bush just smiled and said he just inquired that is the Nigerian's house where Nigeria's ambassador stay in the US. Ladies and gentlemen, all those narrative is changing. And we are believing that our new president and the renewed hope that he has will make our country better again. Distinguished guests, Your Excellencies, the first good news message today will be coming from a chartered engineer. He is a member Institution of Medical Engineers. He is presently a doctoral researcher, a teaching assistant in the School of Mechanical, Aerospace and Civil Engineering at the University of Manchester since 2016. He also has a significant experience in space technology, having worked in the National Space Research Development Agency in Nigeria for over 6 years. He is the Director General, Energy Commission of Nigeria. Please join me to welcome Dr. Mustafa Abdullahi as he comes up to give his goodwill message on this auspicious occasion. Well, for those of you that are not clapping because he's a young man, maybe that's why you're not clapping. You're wanting to see a man with gray hair. Yeah, we are taking over this place. You're welcome, sir.
Your Excellency, my boss here, the Minister of Power, I greet you, sir. And I agree with the last speaker that the problem known is half solved. So thank you very much for the insight, sir. The Statistician General, you're welcome. Thank you for being here, sir. The MD, my brother, from the REA, thank you for being here as well. Our directors present today from the Ministry of Power, my elder brother, A.D. Abubakar. Good afternoon, you're welcome. And partners, in particular European Union and the International Energy Agency. Permit me to the existing protocol, please. You're all welcome. Good afternoon. It is my pleasure today to welcome all the distinguished invited guests and participants to this kickoff ceremony of the Nigerian Residential Sector Demand Side Survey. The Energy Commission of Nigeria, ECN, is charged with the responsibility for strategic planning and coordination of national policies in the energy field in all its ramifications. In doing so, the Commission collates, analyzes, and publishes information relating to the field of energy for all sources. The collated data will serve as input into the development, operations, and maintenance of the National Energy Data Bank, as this will enable individuals and organizations to plan, make informed decisions, and take effective actions to manage energy use and costs. In order to achieve this mandate, therefore, the Commission must work with other relevant stakeholders, governmental and non-governmental organizations that generate, collate, analyze, disseminate, and use energy data. It is relevant to mention here that the Commission is the focal point of the Energy Information System, hosted by the Department of Energy and Mines of the ECOWAS Commission, which will be presented here on the second day of this workshop, and the African Energy Information System of the African Energy Commission. The Energy Commission is collating and collaborating with the ECOWAS Commission with the support of the European Union in the implementation of the 11th FED Energy Governance Program in West Africa, with the primary objective to harmonize and validate 2021 energy data for compiling commodity balance, oil, gas, coal, electricity, renewables, and consolidated energy balance. Hence, through this medium, validated data that can be used to access and evaluate all the levels of implementation of the National Energy Master Plan and serve as basis for the review of the plans and advising government and all stakeholders accordingly. May I once again welcome you all and also thank the ECOWAS Commission for their cooperation in this collaborative arrangement. I'd like to further leave us with just some statement here that if we don't know where we're coming from and we don't know where we are, how do we know where we are going? So may God bless us all, and thank you very much for being here.
Thank you very much. The Director General, Energy Commission of Nigeria, Dr. Mustafa Abdullahi. Your Excellencies, we have a virtual audience all over the world joining us in this launch. And most importantly, we have from the International Agency, she is the Deputy Executive Director, International Energy Agency, a former United States career diplomat, served as the United States Ambassador to Serbia from 2010 to 2012. She was the United States Consul General in Melbourne, Australia from 2012 to 2014. Principal Deputy Assistant Secretary in the Bureau of Energy Resources at the Department of State from 2014 to 2017. Acting Special Envoy and Coordinator for International Energy Affairs 2017. She is the recipient of the Secretary of State's Award for Public Outreach. Your Excellency, distinguished guests, joining us virtually to give her own goodwill message. Please join me with a resounding round of applause as we welcome Mrs. Mary Wallach, the Deputy Executive Director, International Energy Agency.
Excellencies, esteemed colleagues, and distinguished guests, warm greetings from the International Energy Agency in Paris. I'm sorry not to be able to greet you in person today in Abuja, but I am grateful for the opportunity to address you virtually for this important kickoff event, and I sincerely hope to have an opportunity to meet in the near future. I would like to begin by emphasizing that the International Energy Agency, which works with many countries all around the globe, is delighted to partner with Nigeria. Indeed, as an agency with energy data, modeling, and analysis at our core, the IEA is very keen to continue supporting Nigeria with capacity building on energy statistics through the Energy Sub-Saharan Africa program. So on behalf of the IEA, thank you for the trust and enthusiasm that the teams of the Federal Ministry of Power, the Energy Commission of Nigeria, and the National Statistics have put in the IEA, and in this shared collaboration with the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the European Union, and the IEA. This event is really an excellent opportunity to further strengthen this collaboration. I would also wish to thank the European Union for the unwavering support it has given to capacity building on data and statistics, not only in Nigeria, but in sub-Saharan Africa more broadly, and for bringing all of us together in this initiative. The IEA has been strengthening ties with numerous African governments and regional partners in recent years. We have developed a wide range of detailed analyses at a regional, sub-regional, and country level, enabled by the underpinning work on data collection and data quality improvement. Our partners on this continent have increasingly brought their voices to international fora convened by the IEA. For instance, the Federal Minister for Power joined our global conference on energy efficiency in 2022, and we would be very honored to continue having Nigeria bring its strong and important voice to such events and contribute to key energy discussions. Our cooperation around energy training and capacity building continues to grow. Today's event demonstrates the important role that energy data plays in supporting energy policy design. The development of more accurate and real-time statistics in Nigeria, together with the strengthened use of energy models for planning purposes, represents a real win for all involved. As we all know, energy is a critical enabler for sustainable development. And to design and implement the energy policies that support sustainable socioeconomic development, access to energy for all, and the achievement of climate goals, we need reliable, robust, and timely data. Energy data and statistics enable us to understand where we stand today, to assess which policies work, and to track progress achieved. Nigeria continues to accelerate its efforts under the banner of achieving Sustainable Development Goal 7, which aims to ensure access to affordable, reliable, sustainable, and modern energy for all by 2030. However, progress has been hindered to some extent by limited data availability, among other barriers. And with limited data, there are limited indicators. And without sufficient indicators, energy planning becomes very challenging. So this is precisely why data and statistics are essential for optimizing measures and policies, and to closely monitor progress. It is also why data capacity building programs are really so crucial. I hope that this event today contributes to giving such initiatives more prominence and really demonstrating their impact. Indeed, the Nigeria residential sector demand-side survey is going to be a key exercise that will allow Nigeria to better understand the energy uses of its households and the impacts these uses have on its energy system. And the goal of this exercise is to improve the quality and utility of the data resulting from the survey. This, in turn, can better inform the development and implementation of effective policies that address energy access gaps and promote clean cooking, heating, and lighting. Measuring every step that brings Nigeria closer to achieving all facets of SDG 7 will help bring the country closer to reaching these important goals. In closing, I wish all participants the best for the remainder of today's event and look forward to further developing our cooperation in the future. Thank you.
Please, can we give her a round of applause, Your Excellencies? A wise man once said, the reason why we've gone ahead in life is because we've climbed the shoulders of men and women that have gone ahead of us. Your Excellencies, I'll have to pause. Can we give our Honorable Minister a round of applause? He has stayed back to enjoy the moment with us. Thank you very much, Mr. Minister. Thank you. Thank you. The life of a public servant in Nigeria is that of a military man. He's always on call. Whenever you are a minister, the time you have is not your own. It belongs to the federal government. Whenever you are called, you have to move. Well, straight away we have the next good message will be coming from one of our development partners. He is the Deputy Ambassador of the European Union Delegation to Nigeria and ECOWAS. And he represents the European Union in his diplomatic engagements and multifaceted bilateral cooperations with both Nigeria and regional institutions. Your Excellencies, please join me to welcome His Excellency, Mr. Zismos Vegas, as he comes up to give his good message on behalf of the European Union at this launch. The way you are clapping for him is our development partner. You heard the minister. If they don't support us, we will not go very far. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. When you speak at the end of the road, it makes protocol easier. But I would like to acknowledge the vision projected in the minister's structured, substantiated, and thoughtful speech. Because as some of the previous very eloquent speakers said, problem identified is half solved. I will guess that ownership of political vision should take care of the other 50%. So I would like to acknowledge the presence of the Statistician General of the National Bureau of Statistics and the Director General of the Energy Commission of Nigeria, our precious and close partners, other members of the diplomatic corps here present, ladies and gentlemen. Before I start, I need to disclose something. I'm an engineer myself. And as you know, the engineers, we are entrusted with system analysis, nuts, bolts, over the last years, a little bit of coding. And from time to time, we're entrusted also with goodwill messages in fora that they deal with data. So it's an honor for me to be here with you today, representing the delegation of the European Union and our ambassador, Mrs. Samuela Izopi. Now, starting with our goodwill message, I would like to say that the European Union, our delegation, has a privilege and it's a real privilege to partner with Nigeria in this very important exercise. Namely, this year's residential demand-side survey exercise. The exercise has been co-created by the European Union and the International Energy Agency, who in its turn has provided the technical training to the three Nigerian public partners, namely the Federal Ministry of Power as the main beneficiary of the European Union Funded Action, but also the Energy Commission of Nigeria as the leading technical partner, and the Nigeria Bureau of Statistics as one of the key implementers who will conduct the nationwide survey. Now, we have a logo that you see up there, Global Gateway. All these operations are inscribed within the Global Gateway. The Global Gateway is a new initiative, a new strategic vision of the European Union for working with partner countries in co-creating master plans for connectivity, for supporting digital and green transition, for expanding infrastructure, for supporting industrialization, supporting human capital, social inclusion. We'll be talking more and more about the Global Gateway in the years to come, because one important part of it is the mobilization of the financial sector with appropriate products and services in support of the private sector that's supposed to be one of the key ingredients of the Global Gateway. Now, back to our subject matter, a little bit about the situation at hand. It is acknowledged, I think, by the previous speaker, that progress in access to energy in Nigeria is partially hindered by limited data availability, among other barriers. Everybody understands that without data, we cannot plan. We cannot use modern modeling tools. We cannot use geographical information systems. We cannot set indicators. We cannot review policies. So the objective and the outcome of a quality data survey goes without saying that is going to cover a very substantial gap in this matter. Now, Nigeria's energy balance, which is a key piece of information to inform the Sustainable Development Goal number 7, tracking more generally energy policy, contains at this moment only partial data, and while quality gaps are identified. Most key products and flows in the energy balance have been developed at this stage from secondary data sources based on a lot of assumptions, thereby raising technical questions regarding their credibility and usability. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, the European Union, as an important partner to Nigeria in the power sector, has continued to support Nigeria in improving access to quality data for policy and planning in the country. Through the Nigeria Energy Support Program, also co-funded by the European Union and the German government, that we have to acknowledge. The European Union and its member states supported Nigeria with the creation and launch of the Central Data Management System, an interactive online database for the energy sector in Nigeria. When it comes to data collection, the Nigeria Energy Support Program collected data for the said database using two data collection methods: village surveys and mobile mapping systems. With the introduction of a mobile mapper in 2022, the Nigeria Energy Support Program achieved unprecedented data collection performance, both quantitative and qualitative, as the system enabled operators to capture 360-degree videos, which were used to digitalize visual objects. All gathered information was made publicly available on the Nigeria C4All website, providing unprecedented insight and market intelligence data to the public and private sector for planning, regulatory, and monitoring activities in the sector. This year, 2024, the European Union and the International Energy Agency have co-created the Nigeria Energy Demand Side Survey, which will see data collected from the residential sector across 6 geopolitical zones of Nigeria, with the objectives of supporting Nigeria to strengthen its energy statistics with a collection of primary demand side on electricity data on electricity and other energy carriers for the residential sector. We sincerely hope to focus on the industrial sector starting in 2025. Ladies and gentlemen, the EU attaches the greatest of expectations as well as commitment to its partnership with the International Energy Agency, the Federal Ministry of Power, the Energy Commission of Nigeria, and the Nigeria Bureau of Statistics. I would like to use this medium also to specially thank the Honorable Minister of Power, Chief Adebayo Adelabu, who was here with us, and his team for championing this course to address energy data gap in the country, and also for the support given to all European Union funded interventions in the power sector. I thank you all for listening, and I wish you all fruitful discussions. Thank you. It's a pleasure.
Please again, a round of applause for His Excellency, Engineer Zasimus Vegas, Deputy Ambassador, European Union Delegation to Nigeria and ECOWAS. Your Excellencies, the part most of us have been waiting for has come. And they say what a man can do, a woman can do it even better. The lady I'm about to bring up, Mrs. Zakia Adams, a Statistics Manager International Energy Agency. She is a highly focused bilingual statistician and analyst with hands-on experience on data collection, processing, analysis, and dissemination. She has more than 10 years experience dealing with statistical methods and application. She is accurate, structured, a fast learner, and a hard worker. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, please join me to welcome Mrs. Zakia Adam as she gives a residential energy demand survey project presentation. Please can we give her a round of applause as she makes her way. I expected all the statisticians in the house to clap for her very well, because I can see the statistician general clapping very well for her. She's a member of our constituency. You're welcome, ma'am.
Thank you.
Hello? Two. 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 One, two. One, two. One, two. One, two. It's not one, two. Yeah, check, check, check. Hey, 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 hey. Just a minute, please. Well, this is the main reason why we're here today, so we'll have to hold on. Just a little glitch with the sound system that's going to come up later. Check, check, check. Hey, hey. Check, check, check. Hey, hey. I don't understand. No. Yeah, yeah.
Hello?
1, 2.
So, Excellencies, esteemed colleagues, and distinguished guests, good morning. I'm very honored to be here today to represent the International Energy Agency and to present to you the Nigeria Residential Sector Energy Demand Side Survey. So, just a few words on the IEA for those that may not be familiar with our institution. As you may know, the IEA is an intergovernmental agency created in 1974 after the first oil crisis. We have 3 main areas of work. First, on collecting, treating, analyzing data from all countries in the world and describing how each energy source is produced, transformed, and consumed sector by sector. Second, it's on advising decision makers to help develop energy policies. And last, on concrete implementation by means of capacity building and bilateral collaboration programs. What you may not know is that the IEA has been working with and for the Africa energy sector for decades and is reinforcing its ties with the continent under several activities. Energy statistics are at the core of the IEA and recognized globally. This is the result of its abundant data resources and a powerful team of experts. Why do we need detailed demand-side data? First, I would like to emphasize that data are essential in each step of the policy-making process. We need good data and appropriate energy data in the planning stage to accurately inform on the current situation. We also need a good understanding of market conditions and energy flows to adapt policy during its implementation. Data are also needed to monitor and evaluate policies as well as to ensure security. So data need to be robust and relevant to each policy. Very often, countries focus only on supply data, but this is not enough to understand the whole energy system. It is very important to identify what are the most important end users in the country, as this information is key for modeling and steering energy efficiency policies. For Nigeria, we can see that the residential sector is important and drives energy demand. In 2021, it accounted for more than 3/4 of total final consumption. Now I will present to you the new Nigeria residential sector energy demand side survey. Through the Sub-Saharan Africa program, we have been working closely with the national institutions and with the European Union delegation of Nigeria on various activities related to the program since 2020. Last year, with the support of the EU delegation, we proposed this technical assistance to support Nigeria in strengthening its energy statistics with the collection of primary demand-side data on electricity and other energy carriers for the residential sector. The development of data at the national level is often a multi-stakeholder effort. We are thankful to all our partners and were impressed by the engagement of the three key institutions, and we had clear communication channels that facilitated our work for the past month. The IEA has provided technical support to the three institutions to ensure we have a well-developed data collection strategy in accordance with international guidelines. You can see here the planned timeline for the survey implementation. All the three institutions, so the Federal Ministry of Power, National Bureau of Statistics, and Energy Commission of Nigeria will take part in the activities plan over the next 3 months. Starting in February, we will start with the trainings. The main field work will be done in March, followed by the data processing and analysis. By the end of April, all institutions will work together on reporting and planning data dissemination of the results to the public. The main purpose of this survey is obviously to collect all energy consumption and activity data necessary to make assessments of the residential energy sector. We have ensured that the survey will be representative and conducted in all 6 geopolitical zones. The sample size will be optimized and will consist of 5,400 households. The collection method will be in-house visits, and there will be 24 teams of enumerators that will carry out the field work. The positive impact of this survey will be felt on several fronts and for many years. First, we are already seeing the benefits of the strong collaboration between the different national institutions and international partners. The updated data from the survey will help identify and address the data gaps and improve our understanding of the residential sector energy consumption. As you know, the energy balance is a key piece of information, and the quality of the Nigeria's energy balance will improve with more robust data. Also, tracking of climate and energy goals will be improved, and policymakers will be able to make more informed decisions. A few key takeaways to conclude this presentation. The cost of not integrating relevant data into planning may be very high, and often the cost of data is lower. In order to have effective sectoral policy design, we need detailed demand-side data. Today, we are launching this residential survey, but we will continue to work together with our partners on more sectoral surveys to support Nigeria in improving their energy statistics. It is very important to have a robust policy framework that facilitates data collection from a variety of sources. I would like to conclude by saying that the IEA will continue to promote the development of national data capacity within the country. Also, the IEA's work with African countries continues bilaterally, regionally, and institutionally. We look forward to continue to take these institutional relations further and hope to continue partnering with Nigeria to make the energy sector more efficient. Thank you.
Round of applause. Thank you. Thank you. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, we are supposed to proceed for our lunch. And as soon as we're done with lunch, we're coming back for the technical session. So in case you don't have the program with you, please ask the ushers. The technical session is very important that you attend because that's what we're going to be doing, all the practical part of all the grammar we've been speaking since. We have energy data capacity building activities in the International Energy Agency to be handled by Mrs. Zakia Adam, Statistics Manager, International Energy Agency. We have Residential Energy Use Survey, the National Bureau of Statistics Experience, Mr. Joshua Ayo, Senior Statistician, National Bureau of Statistics. Residential Fuel Wood Consumption Survey, the experience of the Energy Commissions of Nigeria, which will be done by the Director of Energy Management, Energy Commission of Nigeria, Engineer BFI Sulu, will be doing that presentation. We have geospatial data in the context of the Federal Ministry of Power's experience. We have Engineer Adi Abubakar, Director, Renewable and Rural Power Access Department, Federal Ministry of Power. He'll be handling that. Then we have the presentation of the National Household Survey, a discussion on the technical aspects, including planning, methodology, and expected outcomes. The joint session between the National Bureau of Statistics, Energy Commission of Nigeria, and the Federal Ministry of Power. Then we have panel discussion, and we have the Q&A session. Please, these are very important parts of this event. So while we go for our lunch break, there's a lot to eat and a lot to drink. Within the space of time that we have, we would like you to network, get to meet new people, get to share your cards with somebody. You don't know where your business will come from. You might as well be shaking or talking to the next minister of this Federal Republic. So wherever you are, enjoy this moment. Our ushers will be directing us on how we'll be going about our lunch. Thank you and good afternoon.
To the Nigerian national anthem. As soon as you come into the hall, please, wherever you are, we want to take the next. National anthem. After the count of 3, 1, 2.
Sorry. Good afternoon, colleagues. Please, we will be starting any moment from now. I want to please ask that we shouldn't sit towards one direction the way we are now. If we can spread ourselves a little bit out so we can feel maybe the first 2-3 rows. Please, some of our colleagues at the back, can we come here? Then some spread this way. Please, please. While we are doing that, I think we still have in the room the DG of NEMSA is with us in the room. I want us to celebrate him. And please, sir, come to this place instead of sitting there. Give a round of applause for our NEMSA MD. Please, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Then I think we should fill all this place with the directors. Director Engineer Mondo and I know there's a senior director in the in Energy Commission. Sir, I can't remember the name, but I know you chaired the meeting yesterday. Please, a round of applause. Let's also welcome, sir, please. No, if you can come to the front, please. Please, sir. Please, sir. Okay, the DG is coming back. Even if, sir. Before he comes, sir, please, can you come and sit there? Let's celebrate him. Thank you. Sorry, we had to call back our MC, our very, very, very wonderful MC. Let's celebrate it with a clap for a job well done that you did in the morning. Thank you very much. So please, you will start now.